Hi to everyone. Myself, Reddy Prasanna, working as an assistant professor in Annamachar Institute of Technology and Sciences, Tirupati, from the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. Today, we will discuss about the topic of supply system, and also we have to know typical AC power supply scheme. First, we have to know supply system. What is electrical supply system? The convenience of electric power from a power station. In a power station, a generating station will be same. In generating station, we have to generate the power. The convenience of electric power from a power station to consumer premises is known as a electrical supply system. An electrical supply system consists of three principal components. First one is power system, and second component is transmission line, and third component will be distribution system. In first component, that is power station or generating station. At power station we have to generate the power. Nothing but electric power is produced. These power stations are located at favorable places, generally quite away from the consumers. Second component will be transmission lines. It is then transmitted over large distances to load centers with the help of conductors, is known as a transmission lines. Finally, the third component will be the distribution system. It is distributed to a large number of small and big consumers through a distribution network. These three are the principal components of a electric supply system. Next, a broad classification of electrical supply system. The electrical supply system broadly classification into two types. First one is DC or AC system, and second one is overhead or underground system. Nowadays, three-phase, three-wire AC system is preferable. In distribution side, we have to use three-phase, four-wire AC system. When compared to underground system, overhead systems are preferred because underground systems is more expensive than compared to overhead system. Therefore, in our country, overhead system is mostly preferred, adapted for transmission and distribution of electric power. These are the just classification of electrical supply system. After next, typical AC power supply scheme. This diagram will show the single line diagram for the typical AC power supply scheme. A large network of conductors between the power station or generating station and the consumers. A large network is present between the generating station to consumer. This large network can be classified into two types. First one is transmission system and second one is distribution system. Again, this transmission system can be subdivided into two types, that is a primary transmission and secondary transmission. These distribution systems can be classified into two types, that is a primary distribution and secondary distribution. One by one we have to know what is what. First one, generating station. First we have to know the generating station. GS will be represents the generating station. In generating station, we have to generate the power where the electric power is produced by three-phase alternatings are operating in a parallel. The usual generating voltage is 11 kV. For economy, in the transmission of electric power, the generation voltage is stepped up into 132 kV or 230 kV or more at the generating station. But there is a limit to which this voltage can be increased. It is because increasing in transmission voltage introduces the insulation problem. After next, Primary transmission. The electric power at 132 kV or 230 kV is transmitted by three-phase three-wire overhead system. This is the primary transmission. We can generate the general voltage, that is 11 kV at the generating station. By using the three-phase transformer, we have to step up the voltage, that is 11 kV to 132 kV or 220 kV or 400 kV. At primary transmission, we have to transmitted this 132 kV for the overhead system by using the three-phase three-wire. Next, secondary transmission. What is a secondary transmission? The primary transmission line terminates at the receiving station. At the receiving station, the voltage will be reduced to 33 kV by step-down transformers. This is the secondary transmission. This is the primary transmission line will be terminates at this receiving station, which is usually lies at the outskirts of the city. At the receiving station, the voltage is reduced to 132 kV to 33 kV by using the step-down transformers. From these stations, electric power is transmitted at 33 kV by using three-phase three-wire overhead system to various substations. This is the secondary transmission. Next, primary transmission. The secondary transmission line terminates at the substation where voltage is reduced from 33 kV to 11 kV. This is the primary distribution. The secondary transmission will be terminates at this substation when the voltage is reduced from 33 kV to 11 kV by using the step-down transformer. This 11 kV line run along the important roadsides of the city. This forms the primary distribution. Next, secondary distribution. The electric power from primary distribution line, that is 11 kV, is delivered to distribution substations. These substations are located near the consumers. This is the secondary distribution. Okay, whenever the primary distribution is terminates at the distribution substations, here that 11 kV voltage will be reduced by 400 volts by using the step-down transformers. These distributed transformers are these distribution substations are near to located at the consumers. We are the consumers. This is the secondary distribution. We have already known electrical supply system can be broadly classified into two types, that is AC or DC system, overhead or underground system. Comparison of DC or AC transmission. First, we have to know advantages of the DC transmission when compared to AC transmission. First point, in HV DC transmission, it requires only two components as compared to the AC transmission. Here, there is no inductance, capacitance, phase displacement or surge problems in a DC transmission. Third point, here there is no inductance presence in a HVDC system. That's why in a DC transmission line is less than the AC line for same load and sending the voltage. Whenever the voltage drop is less, the transmission line shows the better voltage regulation. Next, skin effect. The skin effect only present in a AC system. There is no skin effect occur in a HVDC system. Again, next point, for the same working voltage, the potential stress on the insulation is less in case of DC system when compared to AC system. Therefore, DC line requires a less insulation problem. Sixth point, in DC line has less corona loss due to there is no communication problem occur. Seventh point, In high voltage, DC transmission is free from the dielectric losses, particularly in case of cables. In HVDC cables, there is no dielectric losses will be occur. Last point, in a DC transmission, there are no stability problems. In DC transmission, there is no stability problems. No. Disadvantage of HVDC system. Electric power cannot be generated at high voltages due to commutation problem. In HVDC system, there is no step up and step down the voltages. This is the main disadvantages of the HVDC system. The DC voltage cannot step up for transmission of power at high voltages. Last disadvantage, the DC switches and circuit breakers have their own limitations. These are the disadvantages of the HVDC transmission. Advantages of the AC transmission. In HVDC system, there is no possibility of step up and step down the voltages, because in AC transmission there is a possibility you can increasing the voltage. The maintenance of AC substations is very easy and cheaper when compared to the HVDC transmission system. The AC voltage can be stepped up or stepped down by using the transformers. It will be very easy. Disadvantages of the AC transmission. AC line requires more copper than DC line. When compared to DC line, AC lines are required the more copper. The construction of AC line transmission line is very more complicated when compared to DC transmission line. Skin effect will be occur in only AC system. AC line has a capacitance, therefore there is a continuous loss of power due to charging current even when the line is open. Even when the line is open, the charging current will be occur. Due to charging current, continued loss of power is there. So this is the main disadvantages of the AC transmission system. Thank you to everyone.